In this video, I'm going to show you how to make an editable object and talk about the different modes, point, line, polygon modes. And let me go to c4d. So I really suggest you follow along with this video. Do the same thing I'm doing, just so you can get used to what's going on, because I'm going to talk about selection tools and different modes and stuff. So anyway, let's get started here. So make sure you're in standard view, and then make sure you go to view, frame default, so we're all on the same page here. Click once on the cube icon and make a cube that we all know and love. So all right, so this cube and all of these objects within the drop-down menu, the cylinder, the cone, etc. The fancy name for these is parametric objects, which, if you say parametric, it sounds like you're really intelligent and know what you're talking about. It means it has parameters. Okay, so like I discussed before in a previous video, with the object selected, if I look in the attribute manager, these are the parameters, the X, Y, and Z sizes, and the segments and so on. Those are the parameters. So we can set those parameters in a parametric object. Now that's great, but like with this cube, there's not that much we can do with it, right? So we can make this object editable, and we can add points, we can add segments, all kind of stuff to make it more interesting. Now, the way to make an object editable is have the object selected in the object manager, and there's two ways to do it. There's this icon way down at the bottom. If you hover over it, it says make editable, and you'll see that the keyboard shortcut is C. So whatever is selected, if I hit the letter C on the keyboard, or if I click this icon, it is now editable, and you will see that the icon next to the name cube has changed to this like triangle with like little handles on it. And if you look in the attributes manager, you'll see like, well, we can't input any. We can't input the width, the height, etc. But what we can do now, with the selection tool selected over here on the left, make sure that this selection tool is selected, the brush selection. We can select different pieces and parts of this and adjust them and move them and do all kind of crazy stuff. And what we have to be aware of now that we have an editable object is up here, these modes. You have point, edge, polygon, and model. So if I select point mode, you will see that points on the object, little handles, become available. And with the selection tool, we can click on it, and now we can like push, pull, and do whatever we want with the point. Okay, so now so as you can tell, if we have if we have enough points, we can like make some really complicated objects. If we hold down the shift key and select another point, we can select 2 points at once, by holding down shift, click, to select several points. And let's see, what else can we do? To deselect, you just select anywhere off the object. So that's point mode. Now let's go to edge mode. So if I select edges, now I can select edges, and you guessed it, so now we can move edges anywhere we want to. We can also scale edges by clicking the scale tool. Okay, so I selected the edge, then I select the scale tool. So I could, for example, grab the let's see, which one would I want to do? Yeah, the X. I would grab the X, and I could like squish it in like this. Okay, I don't know if like some of these won't work Yeah. Yeah, this, because of the way this is oriented, the only way I can move it is along this axis. Okay. So anyway, let me go back to the selection tool. Then we have the polygon mode, which means I can select, these faces of the polygon. And likewise, let me select this one again. With that polygon selected, I can again go to the scale tool, and I can scale just only the selected polygon. Okay. So I think that's enough for this video. So to recap, let me delete this thing. This cube is a parametric object with object properties. Once I make it editable by hitting the letter C or clicking this icon, now I can use the point, edge, and polygon mode and the selection tool to select either the points, edges, or polygons, and I can also use the scale tool to scale just sections or edges, and also I can use the rotate tool just to rotate the selected element, right? Let me go to edge. I'll select this edge. I have the rotate tool selected, and I can rotate the object. So as you can see, even with just this limited amount of tools and abilities to select different elements, there's a lot of stuff we can do to make like an interesting object. So in the next video, I'll cover more.